Hi, I'm Brad Molander. I'm 27 years old and I'm the Yearling Manager at Wentwood Grange. My role as Yearling Manager is basically the responsibility of the education and the upbringing of our young horses from the time they're weaned at about 6 months onwards, preparing them for the yearling sales, preparing them for breaking, preparing them for their career, making sure that everything's looked after, all the boxes are ticked, and just raising an athlete. You want to raise a horse to be successful both in the sales rings and on the track in the stables. Racing just sort of runs in the blood. My mum and dad were both in the industry. My dad was a trainer, my mum was involved in the racing industry as well. My background is basically starting in racing, moving to a yearling farm, starting working on stud farms. I've worked in Melbourne, I've worked in Kentucky, I'm originally from Queensland, and then I found my way to Cambridge and worked for the Hawkins family for the last 6 years. I started as a yearling manager at Wentwood Grange when I was 22. It's a big operation. We foal down upwards of 200 mares a year, just over 100 yearlings on the property as well. We have spellers, dry mares. We're a breeding operation without the stallion. A regular day for me during the yearling prep season is arriving at the barn at about 6 AM, making the feeds, putting the feeds in for the horses, then we start bringing them in, colts first, then the fillies, just looking over them, making sure that all the horses are ticking over nicely and in the best health. So we hand walk all of our horses for exercise here, so they all get about 1,000 metres a day. We groom for about an hour and a half, make sure all the horses' coats, skin, everything's perfect. And after lunch, we start turning out the horses. It's a massive part of our business is making sure the horses are horses. You're also raising an athlete for the future. You want them to go on to the breaking stage, to go on into the stables and have the most successful career they can. Spring is our busy time of year. Spring is when work really starts to ramp up. We've just finished our survey x-rays on the yearlings. We're doing dentistry, constantly doing farrier, continuing with the education. We'll start serving the mares. Now we've started to get the foals born as well. I had a great privilege raising some of the horses that I've been able to raise here. One of the highlights is she's lickety split. Worked really closely with her when she was a baby, and to see her go onto the track, win the Sistema, have a lot of success in the spring was fantastic. Manzois obviously won the VRC Derby last year, and just a couple hours before he won the Derby, Des and myself were out foaling his full sister. I now race good brothers. He was my favourite yearling that year. He was one off the farm. I took him all the way to Adelaide during COVID. He ended up on Gavel House, purchased him back. First horse that I've purchased that's won a race. So had a few failed attempts, so it's brilliant when it pays off. I've had some massive highlights all clunked together this year in the last couple of months. Breeding my first horse by Embellish and selling him at the weanling sales was a massive thrill. Winning the Young Achiever Award, massive honour to win that award. I didn't even know I was nominated for the award. Wentwood Grange had kept it very quiet and very secret. I was supposed to fly to Australia to just go home to have a week with the family, and Dean was pretty much said that Manzois was getting an award, so I had to go. And then walked in the door, found out I was nominated and won it. Not just an honour winning the award is obviously fantastic, but just to be nominated against the people that I was up for the award, it's a great honour even just to be nominated. And I think it speaks volumes for our industry, the fact that it was myself and females up for the award. I think one industry where females really can succeed and can really make an impact. I love the breeding industry for the same reason I love the racing industry. It's just one of those businesses where you never stop learning. Every foal that comes through, every yearling that comes through, every racehorse, you never stop learning with it. It's just so fascinating. I love what I do with yearlings because I really do love the education side of things. Like, I love seeing them come through the barn and progress on to the yearling sales, and then love seeing them out on the track, winning races, regardless of where it is. I love educating young staff in the industry. I really love the young people coming through. It's a really great feeling. Same thing as raising the horses, raising, great people and raising great athletes. Love it. There's great satisfaction in every aspect of this job, to every live, healthy foal that's born, every conception that's carried by the mares, every yearling that goes to sales that makes money, every yearling that goes on to become a good racehorse. Every live, healthy foal is amazing. There's a lot of behind the scenes work of what goes into this industry. It's not just us, it's vets, it's farriers, it's chiropractors, it's dentists, it's a lot of things all rolled into one to get the results that we do. The aim would be just to keep kicking goals, keep breeding horses, racing horses. I would love to breed a Group 1 winner. I would love to race a Group 1 horse. I'd love to eventually have my own farm. Just keep doing what I'm doing, keep kicking goals. There's a lot of love involved when you prepare these horses. Like, they don't just leave here and you forget about them and they go on and they race. It doesn't matter if they're successful or not. You know, they do you proud if they're winning maidens at Wingatui or if they're winning Group 1s at Flemington, you know. Like